We're going to do the countdown, and you all are going to help. Are you ready, Andrew? We're going to do the countdown. All right, let's do it. Everybody with me. We're going to start at 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Practice. He's got some stuff under his belt.
Yes,
but,
yes.
All right, here we go. Level 3 complete. Peter Charles out in front with 440 points. We got Michael Jarman just behind, along with Patrick Chatane. Here's Patrick. He's looking at level 2, and he does have bonus to those next levels. Okay, so we got just 15 seconds now to elimination. And we still have a tie, so we will not see a player eliminated until that tie is broken.
Or if the next eliminate, your country is counting on you.
Yeah, and here we're seeing Michael out in the lead. Got all first 5 levels complete. 4 bonus points. He might complete this entire case on.
Yes. See, that's it. See,
wow.
these, oh my gosh. These probably was sitting on points.
Yeah.
See, now Jakob, the guy from Poland, come on, now he's on the bubble. Oh, with seconds.
Level 6. Oh, here we go.
Jakob, what in the hell is going on here? Now, Chastain. Oh my God, come on, Chastain.
Our second top 8 competitors looking to get into the finals. We're going to take our top 4 competitors into the finals here.
That's right.
And here we can see our second seed, second favorite here, Darren Early.
Okay.
And we already have some points on the board. Liana Garish.
Yeah. And Liana Garish is in from the last chance from last night.
Yeah.
And he's like you're not going to get me.
He's the only one with close completion on level 4 and level 5.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and those levels have more points available. Level 5, 220, and level 6 will have 240 points. So that's really going to move him up if he can get that. Level 3 there. Interesting. Yeah.
There's 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It's just 5 points.
Just 5 points. 5 points. Man, it's so close. And Willem has partial points for level 4, so he probably skipped level 3, moved on to level 4, got some partial points there, which right now working
certainly
intently.
those bonus levels are probably easier overall.
Think so? Okay,
compared to level 6 and 7.
Okay, what's Willem doing? Willem's 15% of level 4. What is Willem doing right? No, he's looking around. Looks like he smells some stinky feet. Look at that face he had on there. What? Come on, man. Let's see.
You can see what Michael's doing as well, because he could potentially have to score some bonus points or level 7 to really take this home.
And we're looking at Andrew's screen. And
it looks like we're really stumping them on level 6 and 7. They're moving around an asteroid field trying to find the optimal path. So it's a lot of cell movement based on asteroid value.
Really challenging.
That's really challenging.
Yeah.
Over is over. All right, and Andrew now he's looking around. He's taking his headphones off. What is he doing? Okay, is he safe? Is he safe? This is bold. Look at it, crossing his arms. No. The guy is flexing.
19,
He's flexing.
18,
He's flexing.
16,
What is he doing? Look at this guy. Look
14,
at
13, 10, 9.
Oh, come on.
8,
What is this? No.
6.
It is all over, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all age, we have our new winner.
Oh, man. That just gave it up to him.
Let's move over here to the center of the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your third place winner. That's where you all applaud. Your third place winner.
Yeah.
Your second place winner, and our new Microsoft Excel World Champion, Andrew Guy.
See,
Welcome to Excel on Rocky Top. My name is David Brown. I'm an Associate Professor of Finance at the University of Arizona and the founder of the Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge. Today we're going to celebrate a number of firsts. It's the first time there's been an intramural and Excel eSports competition hosted here at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. It's also the first time for an Excel regional eSports tournament. We welcome the other universities that were able to make the trip in. And most importantly, for many of you, this is your first time doing Excel eSports. I want to commend you all for doing something new and emphasize that the most learning occurs when you try something and do it. So just by the fact of doing Excel and doing an Excel eSports competition, you're going to learn more and develop those skills. Now today is not just about learning, it's also about the competitive and the camaraderie and the fun of working with friends on this. So there's a local saying that goes, the team with the fewest mistakes will win. I just want to remind you that in Excel, you always have Control Z. Good luck today, go Vols, and make Smokey proud.
Hello and welcome. We are live at Excel on Rocky Top, a special event for the Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge. I'm Diarmuid Early.
I'm Brittany Deaton.
I'm Lawrence Lau, and we're the hosts with the most.
So this is, like I said, a special event as part of the Excel Collegiate Challenge. This is also the sort of first of its kind, but hopefully not the last. We've got a sort of regional tournament taking place for all the universities around the Tennessee and neighboring states. So we started off with 9 teams this morning. They did some closed door testing, and now we've whittled it down to 4 finalists who are going to duke it out live stream.
Now let's welcome our teams. We have joining us today, we have Auburn University, the University of Tennessee, the University of Central Florida, and the University of Kentucky.
Okay, so in just a minute, we're going to go show you guys live on the stream a video of the case that the teams are going to be having a go at, and they're going to get a chance to open up the file and have a look at it themselves. Anything else we need to do first? I think we're just good to go.
I think we should be set.
All right, can we roll the case video?
The Excel on Rocky Top Team Finals. We are glad to present you the case for the battle. Cornhole, designed by David Brown, Associate Professor of Finance at the University of Arizona and founder of MECC Tournament. You are organizing the University of Tennessee's Cornhole Championships. In levels 1 through 4, you will determine the cost of various items and project the event's revenue. In levels 5 through 8, you will score individual tosses, throws of a beanbag, rounds, and entire games. There are 5 bonus questions, the first 4 of which can be solved without completing the respective levels. Go get some sliders, watch out for hangers, and good luck.
Can we do something to make the city more livable?
Well, yeah. How about using data and AI to transform urban life to be smarter and more energy efficient? That's better.
Are you a high achiever with an analytical background? Learn about a career at Equity Methods, the #1 rated equity compensation consulting firm and a top company to work for in Arizona. When you join our team, you'll be equipped with all the training you need to jumpstart your consulting career, contribute to high-value projects with prestigious clients, expand your technical expertise, learn client relations, and more. Go to equitymethods.com/careers to view our current opportunities.
My name's Lindsay Campbell, a senior analyst, and welcome to the newly renovated Masters Investment Learning Center. In our renovation, we were able to nearly triple the size of the MILC, giving more room to our 4 torch funds, which actively manage almost $4 million of our donors' money.
Hi, my name's Caden Mitchell, and I'm a senior Bloomberg analyst. And thanks to the renovation, we've been able to add a breakout space to encourage collaboration and mentorship.
One of our new features allows us to hold our upper-level finance classes in here with added privacy.
Don't forget, we're #1 in the world for Bloomberg Market Concept certifications, and this room is an extra space for staff and student leaders.
And with 20 Bloomberg terminals, we are #1 in the SEC.
Come see us. Yeah, put it on your... Hi, we're back. Welcome, everybody. We're back, and
all right. So while we were watching the video there, the teams have been reading the case and hopefully strategizing about how they're going to split it up between them. It's teams of 3 today, so they're going to have to think about how to divide and conquer. So I guess, should we see if they have any questions in the room, or do we?
We'll talk about the case for a little bit, right?
Anyone have any questions? Any questions about the case?
Talk about the case for a little bit, right?
Going once? Twice?
We can give them another minute to read through it and to have a think about their strategy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how you guys think about this. I mean, we always compete in individual competitions. There's a whole other element to the tactics when it's a team game. How you think about splitting it up. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Lawrence? How would you approach it?
Generally, you have these cases are built such that it can be solved by a team. So each person takes a section, whether it could be 3 levels, 4 levels, or 2 levels, and then you sort of combine your answers towards the end. I don't know if any of you had any different thoughts about this.
Yeah, I think basically the same thing. I think this case is definitely set up. There's 2 pretty distinct different sections. The first section talking about really the different items that can be purchased, and then the second section getting into the scoring of the game. Makes for natural division, so I'm curious to see if any teams will choose to divide it up that way. And of course, it's important to think about the bonus questions as well. With this version of the competition, the first 2 teams to answer each bonus question will get those points. So you can effectively lock out your competitor teams by trying to get those. But of course, there's some strategy with that too, because the bonus questions may relate to some of the questions that are later on. So you may need to solve those in tandem.
Yeah, and that's part of the tactics that they need to figure out right now as they're reading through the question. Is, they might have gone into it saying, well, let's have this person do bonuses right off the start, but in this case, a lot of the bonuses are linked to individual levels, so they're going to have to recalibrate if it comes to that.
All right, check. Are we ready in the room?
Any questions from anybody?
Any questions? Last chance for questions.
All right, Lawrence, you want to count us in?
Yeah, we have no questions. Okay.
Runners, take your marks. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can go. Oh.
All right, so it looks like they're off pretty quickly. It looks like with this team, they have started to divide and look at some of the different questions, with one team looking at that cornhole board.
Yeah, I see some. It looks like 2 people are working on level 1, but
I think Grace is working on one of the later levels, which the board is not introduced until one of the later levels, 7.
Yeah, but counting those orange squares, that's one of the bonus questions. So she's going straight for that, which is a smart move, especially when you've got a team of 3. Some people can get started laying the groundwork for the main pieces, and some people can try and lock out those bonuses.
She's doing it manually, which is interesting. I think I've seen this on one of your streams, right? You can search, find and replace via the color.
Find and replace by format, yep.
But you can also do it manually, so let's see what happens here.
Especially with a unique shape like this, that find and replace option might be a little bit more of a time saver. But I think, doing what you know and doing it quickly is probably to her best interest.
Yep.
So now you're putting 1, so you just select everything and just look at the bottom right, what the sum is, so you don't have to put the formula, right?
Either that or a quick formula, whatever is easiest for that team member. This is definitely similar to an approach that I took in an early run through. I think I did the find and replace to make it a little bit quicker, but the one.
Yep, there it is. Sum.
All right. There it is. Now let's see. We might have our first points on the board.
She's gonna drag it down.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that still works.
While we wait to see that come through, if we want to switch to one of the other universities to see what they're working on right now.
She's saving it.
All right, well, I guess we're going to see the T all the way through. I don't remember if 116 is the right answer, but we'll soon find out when they go to put it in the answer sheet.
The logic seems sound. They do with this version as well have to input their answers over into an answer sheet. So it's like, yep, we've got them headed over to that answer sheet to input that answer. So we should see pretty soon here if we can get those bonus points.
Wasn't it 116?
Yeah, it sounds like 116.
Got a mistype there.
Got a copy paste.
They got a fat finger right there. Let's go, 116.
Still not showing up. Oh, no, I see.
Are they getting the feedback?
Oh, yeah, boom. We got the marks, I think. I think I saw the tick go in, but the scoreboard hasn't moved. Let's see.
It hasn't changed yet.
But I'm sure I saw it. Yeah, so they got the green mark, so I think that's got to mean it's working. Maybe
I would just keep going, right?
Yeah.
And if we could switch over, maybe look at the University of Tennessee to see how they are progressing through this.
So they're answering the first bonus. What is the largest percentage discount offered by a package? relative to buying the items individually. So I'm guessing they're using the large function because they're going to look at all of the discounts and select the largest ones.
Like
I think they might not have. I think they might not have read them exactly.
Well, column C, it says what level it relates to, right? So they should be scrolling down to level 3. They're only going to 2. So they're going to the wrong discount table, which is the date discount table. They should be going to the package one.
Yeah, there's a bit more work to be done on this
bundling one.
To get to the answer, but maybe we're just going to pass on that for now.
Hey, the scoreboard went away. Hey, we can come back later.
Now we get to guess at the scores.
Yes.
Well, it'll just take us by surprise when we see where things shake out. But can we switch over to one of the other players?
The level 1, right? We've got, what is the cost of all items purchased?
So a lot of the levels in this are all about your ability to do text manipulation. I see someone has got dynamic arrays going on here, which is good to see they're teaching that at university these days.
And just for anyone that doesn't know, the name of the case is called Cornhole. It's a very popular sport or game that's played in American universities, especially in the Midwest and the South. So you're doing a cornhole tournament right here. And you've got a number of different items with costs, ranging from tickets, parking, and things you can buy. Unlimited hot dogs and beverages.
It looks like we do have some points now on the
Look
board.
at that.
So resolved our scoreboard issues. It looks like the 50 points. Where was that one coming?
Bang! 50 points for Auburn University and UCF, and 83 for Kentucky. So 83 is sort of an odd number. It means they have partial credit for something. They got some of the logic is right, some for something, and some of the logic is not right. It's probably question number 1.
Could we get Kentucky up on the screen here? See what they're. Okay, here we are.
I see. They've copied and pasted the cornhole board onto the case sheet, and they filled in cells in terms of point values for each color, 0, 1, and I guess 3s for the hole in the middle. So that's how cornhole is played. If you play it, if you ever played it, you get it in the hole, you get 3 points. On the board, it's 1. Otherwise, you get nothing. 0, zit, zilch. Good day, sir.
Looks like we're going for an X lookup of an indirect here, but
yes.
But I don't know if they've already flattened it out to be able to do.
I know.
An X lookup.
Did you see some of these levels? They've got unlimited hot dogs, people purchasing twice. I would just purchase once, and you could share with the other person you're going with.
Maybe it's a limited personal license.
I know. Well, they don't call them hot dogs anymore. They're called glizzies for the younger generation. So if you eat a lot of hot dogs, you're called glizzy gobbler.
I'm not as in touch with the youth as you are.
Yes, that's what they call them these days. They're called glizzies. They're not called hot dogs, just so you know.
It looks like we have 4 partial points for the University of Kentucky. So they've got level 1 fully cleared, and then partial points on level 2, which starts to add some discounts, and level 5, which is that first part of looking at the cornhole board. So
all right, so we got some nice divide and conquer going on.
Yes, the team is definitely divided up. It looks like the University of
Tennessee's on the
has,
board.
Some points as well now, but looks like another partial credit situation. Don't know if we can switch over to the University of Tennessee and maybe see which questions they've got. Looks like the University of Kentucky is doing something with some.
Colin is working on level 7, which is the 20 tosses. How many points do you get from these 20 tosses? And that's where you have to figure out where the tosses land on the board.
All right, so this is the home team, University of Tennessee. Let's see, I see someone's working on what looks like level 2 up in the top left.
That would be Lindsay. That would be she's on camera, so she's definitely talking to, you can see that she's not silent, so she's talking to one of her teammates. This is a team effort here.
Yeah, collaboration is the name of the game here because they want to make sure they can divide and work on different parts and help each other, especially to the extent that these items start to build on each other.
So 2 is like 1, right? You're finding all the prices of everything, but if you buy it before a certain date, you get X% off, 30% off before 31st of January, 20, 10, and 5 before the 29th of February, 15th of March, and the 1st of April.
And ideally, you'll be able to carry over a chunk of your workings from that first level, depending on how you set it up, obviously.
Yes, and you have that text manipulation piece and looking up the prices of the items. And it looks like that Lindsay here is trying to do some XLOOKUPs on that date purchased. So looking at that discount dates up above, and she will need to do a match that looks at any dates that are, I think, before or on that discount date. So it will not be an exact match.
Are they doing this manually? I mean, because they got number 88. Sorry, game 21.
Looks like maybe they've done it in two parts.
Well, they got
So they got
21
two parts?
points.
21 points, so that's 3 sevens. That has to be right. So which
Yeah, I guess so.
which level has 7 points per question?
I don't think.
That would be
It looks like it's
No, they're points.
level
Oh, they've got
5.
7 points on those. So level 5 is 3 points each. They
So
must
three-
have 7 out of the
7.
20 of those done.
for level 5. Okay.
Yes, they could
Hmm,
either
I
have
wonder-
done that in bits and pieces manually, or perhaps have a formula that's not working in every situation. It looks like the score's been fairly static on the other teams right now.
Why don't we go check in on Central Florida? I don't think we've seen them
Yeah.
yet.
5's an easy one. If you see it, you can just do a find and replace. Pretty simple.
I like that. I like that. Find and replace. just
Find and
sum them up.
replace HMB. That's it. We're doing some date manipulation. We don't need to do that here.
Reformatting, maybe to make it easier to read for the team. Or
You don't need to do that. What are we doing?
Not necessary. All right, so we've got
All
the
right, so
University
here's Central Florida. Let's see what they're up to. So they've got 50 points on the board, but which
If you're looking at Claudia, looks like she.
I think
did
she
some
did-
Find and replace there.
Oh, they did text split. You
That's
can
what
see.
they've done.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you highlight it,
it looks like Auburn just took the lead over Kentucky.
110 over 92. Yes.
I mean, it's all early days yet. There's a lot of. Oh, interesting. So it looks like they're doing find and replace to replace each item name with the value instead of a lookup.
Well, you have to copy and paste as values first. It's not going to work on a dynamic array.
Is it still dynamic? I didn't.
Yeah,
see-
because
oh,
it's
no.
highlighted.
Yeah. All right. So that's not going to work.
Yes,
So
they will have to figure that part out.
Copy
Either-
paste values. Copy paste values.
I can't hear you, Lawrence. Louder. Funnily enough, I'm joking about Lawrence shouting loud enough. We're in a different room, but all these teams are in the same room together. So it's like they need to communicate with each other, but not so loudly that the people on the other side of the room can hear them.
They should just shout the wrong things. Like you should have one person shout out the wrong instructions so the other team thinks this is the way to go.
I should have known that you would have a psyops take on
Right.
this.
Yeah, that's what you should do for sure.
Oh, Kentucky is back in the lead, 152. They must have knocked
Okay.
out most of or all of a level there.
Let's see if they can keep it up. The Kentucky basketball team is not known to perform well in the spring, so let's see if this Kentucky team can finish strong.
Throwing some shade. All right. Meanwhile, we got some divide and conquer on the University of Central Florida, so they've got some folks in looking at that cornhole board, starting to figure out how to do some of those lookups.
I think that's the second team we've seen that has bonus 3 out. So that's done now.
Okay.
They are.
bonus 3.
They should start on 5. 5 is the easy one.
And of course, we can't see, or we're not looking at all participants' cameras all at the same time. So
That
they
is
could be
true.
working on
They
some of
could
these
be
bonus
working on 5.
questions.
That is true.
Some of them are a little bit difficult. I think bonus 5 is the one that ties in.
Oh yeah.
Have to get fairly far. through the
If anybody
levels.
gets bonus 5 out, I'll be very impressed. 'Cause
We
you have to have
are-
all the logic of the last level and build more on top of that.
We
That's
are
really-
looking at an answer sheet appears, right? There's multiple people in it, or are they sharing it on
They
a
could be-
OneDrive?
They could be in one.
Yeah, I
shared
did speak to a team before the event started, and they did mention that they will upload it to a shared OneDrive and working on it together,
Oh, interesting.
which can introduce sync issues.
Yeah, I'd be
you
more
know,
worried about losing time versus divide and conquer.
Right.
But I mean, if they've got a good team collaboration dynamic going.
Yeah, I mean, it got them to the final, so let's see where it will get them here.
Yeah, I like the countif approach here. It's it's not maybe as quick as the find and replace, but it's formulaic. I
And you can
approve.
carry it down to the next levels, maybe.
It's not fully brute force.
You
so
can carry it down to
see
the
if
next
it does
level.
have that usability function later on. So it
And
should
she's
get
matched the
job
answers, so
There you
now
go.
we might be about to. Let's see, this level's worth 60 points, so that would
You-
get
you
them
don't-
back up level with Auburn.
There you go. And just FYI, you don't have to do a ×1. Inherently, it is everything is ×1. But here we go.
done. Placing in some values, we'll see.
Oh yes, straight up
Bang!
110.
There we go,
Nice.
110.
Kentucky is still out in front, but Kentucky and Tennessee both have mistakes in there somewhere, which You can get stuck in debugging hell for sure.
Yeah, a great thing is upstairs where the competitors are, they do see the scoreboard. So they do see where they're at 100%
Oh, wait,
for each
Central
level.
Florida just lost 60 points. What? Put them back.
No.
Put them back.
Somebody must have...
oh, it looks... maybe she was worried about pasting in the formats.
The formats don't matter, right?
No.
Yeah.
But, well, anyway, the points are back. It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's always exciting to see points go down in a competition like this, but hopefully not something that is necessary to happen.
So we're doing split screen here. Is that something that you do when you compete, Tim?
Yeah, I do. I would usually have the answer sheet just like in as narrow a wedge of the corner of the screen as possible. But then, yeah, at least you don't have to flip over and back as much. But I mean, this is costing her a lot of real estate, so I would rather have more of the screen for the Excel file. But you know, if it works, it works.
You always keep it in the background, or if I've got a couple of monitors going, then I'll have it up. But can do just the Alt tab between the different screens.
I guess this one is going to be interesting because the COUNTIF is a nice approach for level 5, but it's not going to go nicely into level 6 because the COUNTIF is naturally aggregating anything compared to if you did, say, a lookup that gives you the score for each one, then you can say, okay, well, the score for this one versus the score for that one. Whereas COUNTIF, you've got them all mashed together. So she's going to have to do a new approach for level 6.
Yes, because level 6 has that every other per the player because you have to consider both players. So that's going to either make her formula much more complex, or have to switch and take another approach entirely.
And for anyone that's not keeping track, level 6 is basically everyone. You have people alternating turns tossing bags. Each round is 4 tosses per player, and what they want to do is they want to get the difference in the score between each player for each round. So you can't just sum everything up and then subtract. You have to do it for each toss for each round. And that's where the difficulty lies here for level 6.
I think who have we not seen lately? Should we switch back to Tennessee? Check on the home team.
Yeah, let's see how they're doing. So, are they still working through some problems? Are they holding back some answers? Should they throw them all in the answer sheet all at once? It's dangerous smooth.
That's interesting.
We got more psychological plays going on here. You two are sneaky.
Personally, I would not risk it, but it would be an interesting approach.
We had someone do that at the MECC finals the first year, I think. I don't think it was an intentional psychological tactic, but he answered almost all the questions in his sheet before he was like, wait a second, why is my score still 0? Oh, right.
The guy from
and then
Penn.
Suddenly jumped straight up into first place.
Yes. It looks like in this case, Lindsay is taking a peek at those bonus questions to see what is there.
Looks like they've got some workings on level 2.
Can we look at Lindsay's screen?
I do wonder because she looked at bonus 3 and then switched over.
Oh, no, don't do it. It's gone. It's gone.
Bonus 3 is no longer
Do they know?
available.
They can see this. I think she's actually probably looking at the scoreboard right now and seeing that 2 teams have got it. Got to move on. Something else.
Well, she made a good choice there.
Looks like for level 1, they've got some answers in this workbook, but they don't have points for level 1. So I wonder if they haven't yet copied those in, either intentionally or by accident.
Yeah, could be.
And they're taking a peek at
I mean,
level
if they're looking
3.
at 3, they must have at least got most of the workings, because like level 3 is sort of the more complex version of level. So like level 1 is just how much do all these items cost. Level 2, you got to factor in the time discount. But then level 3, you can group items into packages to get a cheaper price. So that gets quite a bit more complicated.
And I think the extra complexity there is some items are part of a package, and then some are purchased individually, and you have to add all those together to determine how many whole packages are in the lot of items, and then how many additional individual items, and apply those discounts. And doing that question will also unlock the ability for one of the bonus questions as well, where you have to look at the maximum discount available on one of those packages. So thinking through that logic will go hand in hand.
This is definitely a tough position for Tennessee to be in, because all 4 teams can see the scoreboard up on the big screen in front of them. So they know they're behind, and that, I mean, I've certainly experienced this before, that you're behind, you go into a sort of tailspin, and it's like, I've got to, maybe I'll try this, maybe I'll try that, and it kind of encourages you to like freak out and jump around more. But it's probably. Yeah. You're probably better off to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, but like you can see they're kind of jumping up between, like they're down in the cornhole levels, they're up in the item purchase levels,
I mean, I can just see the camera, right? It doesn't look like they're doing divide and conquer. It's like all 3 of them, right? Yeah. They're talking to each other.
Yeah.
they're all focused on one level at a time. Is this the best way to do? Is this the best use of your resources, considering 11 minutes left, and you're down by I don't know how many
Let's take
points.
a look at Sarah and see what she's working on. So this looks like they're on two different parts of the question. Maybe they were just comparing notes on one place where they were particularly blocked, because that may be enough to get them unlocked and move on. That's the decision that teams will have to make: is how much to collaborate versus doing that splitting. But
Can we take a look at Sarah's screen? It's kind of a long formula. I want to see what's inside.
yes, I'm curious what she's
It
doing.
looked like a lot of.
It's a sum. She's summing a
numbers.
lot of different numbers.
Or maybe that was just temporary
A1 plus
F9 or
A2 plus
something.
A3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, so she must be pointing back up to the items from the table.
Is that what she's doing?
What's
L76. So she's doing a discount based on the day. Fine. But what about the bundling? Oh, this is early bird. Oh, she got to do a tech split. It's not gonna make any sense. You gotta do tech split.
I think she must be like because it's all pointing up to like rows 38 to 46. That must be where the table of prices is. So
She's
maybe
doing it.
just
She's doing it manually. She's right. She's like each one. She's referencing the cell like hard coded. I would just do a tech split, and then you can VLOOKUP or not VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, however fancy you want to get to.
Oh, it looks like Tennessee did get some of that level 1 points, so they must have finally copied those answers in, but there are some errors in them because it's only that partial score.
We're seeing Kentucky pull away just like their 96 team did in the NCAA bracket when they won that year.
Let's see how Kentucky is
Yeah, how about that local sports team?
I mean,
that it's more points to the board.
that 96 team was good.
Can we switch over and take a look at Kentucky, see what's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
We've got just under 10 minutes left. So there's still time for a lot of things to change, especially if, teams have divided and conquered. It's, if one person cracks one level, another person cracks another level, their score could jump by a few hundred points in no time.
And bonuses 1 through 4 are 180 points, right? So if you just answer those, that's a big jump.
Like Andrew has taken an approach. I saw another tab on his workbook where he might have had some side workings going on.
Okay, Andrew. I'm a fan of anyone that uses dark mode. So, okay, Andrew. I'm a big fan of this.
It looks like he's setting up some supplemental calculations there to make it a little easier because sometimes real estate can be at a prime here.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to guess, I think those are probably counts of the different items. It looks like there's about that many items.
Oh, look at this. Auburn has caught almost right back up now. They're up to 240.
Boy,
it's going to be tight.
And 20 points is nothing, especially with 10 minutes on the board. So
Oh, yeah.
plenty of
Like
questions that
one
can
bonus
change
question will turn the whole thing.
Those unlimited hot dogs.
Nobody's out of it yet.
$22 is
It's
pretty
interesting.
cheap.
They've got the first two levels out. For me, 3 and 4 are definitely harder than, say, 6. I mean, I'm sure they're working on a couple of different fronts at the moment, but
3 and 4 have the upside, though, because to answer 4, you have to have 3.
right, that is true. So
that's-
level
that's
4
that's an upside.
is adding up like total sales based on the results from level 3.
Yes.
And it's
So
that's true. Like the extra work to get to 4 having done 3 is definitely less than a whole other level somewhere else.
Do you have to get actually all of 3 right to get 4? Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to see the scoreboard up there. They're not running blind.
It looks like Kentucky, of all the questions they've answered, they do have perfect scores. I think most of the other teams had some sort of partial.
Oh
but what
my
they're
God, look
doing,
at
they're
it.
doing with
I think
excellence.
he's doing
But it's going
a
on.
manual data table.
That's fine.
Which, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's saved him a minute or two, but it's basically going to work if the answer is getting it right.
No
which
worries.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I would put it like after you do 5, paste them in the answer sheet. If you get like 20% right, keep going with the rest.
Yep.
But he's going to do them all.
So, I mean, just to explain, if you're not following what's going on here, basically what's happened is he's split out all the items, priced them each, aggregated them on a working sheet based on one starting cell that references the input for that level. And so now he's just going through having that point to the next cell, the next cell, the next cell, and so on. And each time, all the calculations flow through. He gets the answer from the bottom. But it looks like he is going to go all the way through before checking anything, which is, whoa,
Well,
Kentucky.
where's the date? I don't see the date.
There is a discount number in there somewhere.
Yeah, but I've never seen it change.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
I think
always
he's-
0.2.
You're right. I think
So
he's using the
is
same
this right?
discount every time.
Yeah, that's not going to be
No,
right.
this is where you want to
See, it's
like you said,
always
you want to paste a
0.2.
few answers in.
It's always
before.
0.2. B1 whatever. B20, 20,
Yeah,
B23 is
B23.
always 0.2. So he's only going to get the answers right if it is.
And this is the downside about cycling through all 20 answers manually, is if you realize at the end that you made one mistake, then you got to go back through and do it manually again. And then if you paste those in and some of them are wrong, you got to go back through and
Only the
manually do it again.
February ones will be correct. So that's 3 out of the 20. It's not a good payoff.
He'll get a few points on the board, but not a
You're
lot.
going to get 18 points on the board out of 120. Oh, he missed that one because he missed that one.
That's rough.
You see that?
That's rough.
But meanwhile, one of his teammates did get a later question. So was that
Oh, interesting. So they've got
question
level 7 now.
So he bypassed level 6.
Interesting. Level 7 is a tricky enough one. That's one where you have to kind of be able to spot the locations on the board.
Well, actually, no.
wonder what
If it's
approach they
level
did for
3
that
he's
one.
doing, he would have gotten how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay, well,
5,
here he
6,
goes. He's
7,
pasting the
8,
answers
9,
in, and they got
81
something.
points.
They got
81 out of
something.
180. Oh, they got it. Oh, they're running away with it. There it is, like exactly like the 96 team.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet. 5 minutes to go. A couple of levels for Auburn, and they can still catch up.
Well, I think the biggest problem they're going to face is if they try to turn around and look at question 4. It's going to be wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
So he might be perceiving
Because
this
even
in
if
his
you had
last 5
80% of question 3 right, you need to have it all
Well,
working to be
yeah.
able to do level 4. That is true. That is true.
So that's probably where they're going to find themselves stuck. Although they do have, those later.
They got a
questions with
buffer.
points on there. They've got a good buffer. Might be enough to save them. It looks like I think University of Central Florida got a few more points on the board as well. Some partial credit still. If you want to switch over to the University of Central Florida. All right, so they're working on a few different things. I see some contemplating going on here.
So if you look in the bottom left, Caesar's screen, it looks like
He's
they've been doing a manual
He's on the answer key.
replace.
Oh.
They are doing a manual replace.
Like they're looking at the board?
They're looking at the board and putting in the numbers. So it's a brute force way. It's going to be a little painful, but it might get them
Yeah,
some
I mean,
points.
a little bit easier way is you see some of the squares, like some of the rows are all red, all black.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
They could,
It's a little bit easier if you do that way.
if you knew how to do a wild card replace, you could replace anything that's star 112 or whatever with a 1. But then
Star A.
you
A
gotta
star.
that whole area is trickier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that they
But,
are going
it's
the
an
route
approach.
of putting the numbers in here versus I think one other route that could be taken is on the cornhole board itself. You can type in the 0s, 1s, and 3s as long as you're comfortable with using an indirect formula to know what is in that
Yeah.
cell. And that may be where they're stuck when they don't know that
Well,
formula.
yeah, that's the challenge. There's such a bag of tricks that goes with these esports things that all the quote unquote pros know, but these guys are college students, and B, they're probably learning Excel for financial modeling. So if anything, they've probably been told don't use indirect. But sometimes you gotta break the rules to be successful in this game. So.
Indirect does have some uses, but a little bit harder to trace
I
through
agree.
at times. So I think with any of these, knowing when to use which formulas and in what cases, whether you're in an esports competition or you're building a financial model, those different formulas have their place and purpose.
Yep. I mean, the other challenge with doing this manually is, you make one mistake along the whole way. There are no points for being within 1% of the answer.
Right.
So it's tough.
But in the real world, as long as you get close enough, pretty much, it's acceptable.
Yes.
4 billion versus $4 billion and $1. Same
But in
thing.
the competition, that $1 makes a difference.
That's
so.
right. It does.
We don't think we've seen Auburn in a little while. We want to switch over to Auburn and see what they're working on.
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
see if they've
The
got
last couple of
something
minutes.
held back
So
that they can deploy in the next
You're behind by
2 minutes and
212.
30 seconds.
Right? So you're behind by 212. You need at least 2 levels complete.
But if they've divided and conquered,
least.
they may be close on a few. So.
Yeah. I
Looks
mean,
like
even
Jack has
one
got
good
some
level and one bonus would go a long way.
You think get level
Looks
8?
like-
Yeah, you need at least 2.
Jack is about to paste in some answers.
All right, come on.
Let's see
Let's
if we
make
get
it
some
exciting at
points.
the end.
Jack has got,
Looks like
it's a level
maybe
2,
those
so this is
answers
6
were
times
not
20,
right.
that's 120.
And let's look at what maybe Ben is working on right now, because I see some workings off to the side on that screen. So curious which question he might be working on there.
It looks like that's level 6.
Who, Ben?
Ben, yeah.
Ben, yes,
I don't know.
let's switch over to Ben's.
Yeah, because he's that long thing with the 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, so he's looking at that problem where you've got to translate into points and then look by player and then calculate the net points overall for each of 3 rounds.
So it looks like he's got a bunch of blank columns. I guess maybe he's deleting one player's scores. So that he, I mean, if he's using a count ifs approach like the person we saw earlier, then maybe he wants to just delete so that he's got one player in one section and the other player in another section.
But that doesn't work here, because to get the net points, you have to look at both.
Yeah, but if he can, if his method is like if it's something like that count ifs where he has to aggregate, then he just needs one player in one place, the other player in another place, and then he can net them off. I see 3 columns of numbers, so maybe that is what's
what he's doing?
there. I don't know. Oh no, so I see him starting to multiply one of them by 3. So maybe he's counting the H's, the M's, and the B's separately.
Okay.
He's got a really short amount of time out. No, we've got less than a minute. Let's see what the
Yeah, it's
University
getting
of Tennessee
tight.
is trying to do in the last 30 seconds.
It's Hail Mary pastime. Put in the round between.
Yes, put some random answers in, see if you get close. Or maybe they've got a few things that they're ready to drop in, but it's a long way for them to try to cover all the way up to where the University of Kentucky is right now.
Well, I'll tell you what I like. I like that they're still going. They're still fighting all the way to the end. And it's got to be kind of demoralizing looking at the scoreboard, knowing that they're behind them, probably far enough behind that they're not going to catch up, but they just keep at it. I like that.
Or maybe they're not paying attention to the time. I know I get really in the zone, and all of a sudden that buzzer
That has
goes
definitely
off,
happened to
and
me before.
Kentucky just scored 30 more points. I beat them.
All right, they're
Looks
going to
like
be
they
hard to
got
catch
bonus.
now. We got 7 seconds
like
left.
bonus
Auburn, come on! What have you been holding back?
Kentucky ran away with this.
2-1-0. All right.
Yeah, bonus 1. Here we go.
Let's look at the final scores up here. So did get a few bonuses on the table here. Got bonus 3 locked out, and teams taking one of bonus 1 and 5, and nobody touching bonus 5.
Yeah, but a very, very commanding win for the University of Kentucky. 482 points. They're actually just double the next place team. That is a solid way to.
And it looks like they did use divide and conquer with levels 1, 5, and 7.
Yeah.
Getting perfect.
Yeah, they
So
must have been working in totally different places.
Yep.
Which is a smart strategy in this.
That's a strategy.
It only works if you got 3 people who are all confident enough to strike out on their own.
Yes, that's right.
All right, so I think we're going to head over to the sideline mic so that Eric can talk to. I guess we didn't introduce Eric, but Professor Eric Kelly, who is the guy who's been organizing for the University of Tennessee, is going to do some sideline interviews with the teams. So let's go live.
All right, I'm here with the Kentucky team. Congratulations, guys. Good job. So I was watching the live feed. Looks like y'all had a pretty thought out strategy once you got going, split up the case. So I guess when y'all planned this out, how did you divvy up the case, and what were y'all thinking?
I can go. So just can I hold it? Yeah. Okay, so we clearly identified that bonus levels are okay. So we saw that levels 3 and 7 were important for the bonus, so we wanted to split up people on those so we could solve those quickly. I was feeling pretty good about 1 through 3, so I did those in the bonus, and then Colon did the 7, and then Joseph did 5. So we saw that those all could be completed pretty independently, so we just divided and conquered.
So what I guess what did you find to be the most challenging part of this case?
Yeah, I can go. I got stuck for a while. If you look at the cornhole board, all of the extra tabs were hidden over, and so I was using a lot of the indirect formula to find like the actual cell reference. So I had to copy everything and to create a new tab, and it took me like 10 minutes to realize I couldn't get it all on one that was already pre-made. I had to create a new one.
All right, so let's head over to second place was Auburn, so we'll head over to Auburn. Congratulations, folks. So I saw y'all. It looked like y'all. I believe y'all hit the bonuses first, right? Was that the strategy? Here, I'll let y'all talk a little bit about your strategy.
That was you, Grayson.
Well, yeah, my job was bonus, and then we just went in from there and tried to do as many as we could.
So what was your job?
I was in charge of level 1 and 2. I got level 1 right, and like I put it in there, and I thought I had it wrong, so I kept on checking it. And then level 2, I messed up, and I just figured out what I did wrong, but did not execute.
All right. Well, good job to y'all. So we'll head to Central Florida next. So here we are with Central Florida. So how'd y'all feel about the case? What'd you like? What'd you dislike?
Yeah, sure. I liked the gamification of it. I liked that it was in relation to like something that was fun. We went with a real manual strategy, but it gets you where you need to go normally, but there's definitely some easier ways. But we definitely wanted to tackle some of the easier bonuses first to try and knock those out.
All right, and then we'll head over to University of Tennessee, 4th place. Good job. So I'll let y'all chat. So it looked like y'all kind of got hung. You split the case up, it looked like. So we started at somebody started with level 1, and then someone started on the cornhole, the actual cornhole scoring again. So let's talk. What hung you up when you kind of hit a plateau there?
Yeah, I think for us, the big thing is that we've never, practiced together like this before.
Can hold it.
It's okay. Yeah, we've never really done this before. This is our first time doing it, so we kind of came into it not really knowing what to expect exactly. And I think breaking it up is a good idea, but we kind of didn't have too much of a plan coming into it or understanding of how exactly all the levels were going to work out. I think we thought it was going to be more like the team events that we did earlier with more like specific financial modeling things.
And I'd add to that like I think a big difference for us is that the work that we do with Excel is very different than stuff like this. So for me, like when I got to these problems, I was like, I don't even know the first thing to do here because it's not like what I'm used to doing. Yeah. So that's something that like we really enjoyed the team competitions earlier today because we had like it was more logic and like yes, it was different than what we've seen before, but there was like a financial valuation like model in there, which was cool. But this is just like cornhole and like it was just confusing. But it was fun still.
Yeah, so it's been a fun event for me, and I mean I want to expose our students to things that they've never seen before, and just to see what happens. It looks like we accomplished the purpose. So I'll send it back to you all.
All right. Well, congratulations again to all the teams who took part because this is a scary thing to do. It's a scary thing to do for for us having worked in Excel for many years. It's a much more scary thing when you're learning, a lot of stuff, but there are gaps, and you might just get hit with something like this that you've never seen before. You have no idea how to approach it, and that's a great way to learn. But having to do that learning in public in front of a bunch of people is intimidating. So congrats to them.
Yes, great job to all the teams that participated and all the teams that participated earlier today as well. It was exciting to be here on site and seeing the teams and interacting with each other and working through everything.
I think the next MECC event is in a few months from now. Could be.
Well, I think they've got kind of events going on every month, pretty much as sort of warm-ups. But then, yeah, the big event this year, the big Microsoft Excel Collegiate Challenge final, is going to be in Las Vegas in December. So that's what people are competing for spots for today, and at the various other events throughout the year. So yeah, I mean, Lawrence and I were both at the MECC final in Tucson in Arizona the last couple of years. It was a lot of fun, but the major venue in Vegas and the eSports arena to host the final promises to be pretty exciting. And I guess this is the right time to mention that if you are interested in taking part, if you're a college student, you can go to mecc.college and find all the information there. It's free for students to enter. I think there are a number of sort of paid like scholarships to the Vegas finals available, even if if you get that far, but even if you don't, there's a ton of stuff to learn from doing these cases and seeing the feedback and how other people do it and so on. Guys, any closing thoughts, or should we wrap it up?
I think we're good to wrap. It's been an exciting weekend.
Yeah, we saw a lot of great competition today from all teams, all in, I guess, southeast part of the U.S., right? Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Those must be the individual finals. Oh.